Welcome to APCUG's Wednesday workshop, where we get together in the middle of the week to learn more about technology. We're glad to have you with us, and today we are very excited to have back with us one of our long-time, don't want to make it sound like he's old, but one of our long-time presenters who goes even back to the old virtual technology conferences that we used to do back in the days. We're so happy to have Hewie Poplock with us today. He's kind of become one of our AI experts, and I, for one, need somebody who's an expert to help me over this big hump of fearing the AI transition. Hewie comes to us from Sarasota, Florida. Also, some of you know him from the Central Florida because he works kind of both sides, the center of the Florida and on the other side. And others know him from his Tech for Senior program. So, Hewie, we're really glad to have you here today and to tell us about some of your AI tools and how AI can help a lot of us who are seniors. So, I'm going to turn things over to you.
All right. It's good to be here, and let me get set up and make sure things are set to what they should be. And hopefully you have my screen.
Good, looks good. Love that picture of you.
Yes, it's great. It's done by AI, by the way. Okay, the AI Toolbox, my favorites. Some new discoveries of the year. And as we've been saying, I'm Hewie Poplock. This started out to be embracing the AI age with practical applications for seniors, part two. I did part one 2 years ago and have been doing it for about a year. And I decided I needed to update it. And when I updated it, that didn't fit. This fits it better. So let's get going because I got a lot to show you today. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun and enjoy some of the things that I've done with AI for you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. Just over a year ago, we gathered together for a presentation called Embracing the AI Age with Practical Applications for Seniors. At that time, many of us were just beginning to hear terms like ChatGPT, AI image generators, and prompt engineering. Artificial intelligence still felt new, mysterious, and for many people, a little intimidating. Over the past year, something remarkable has happened. AI has moved from being a curiosity to becoming a practical tool that millions of people now use every single day. These tools are helping people write emails, summarize articles, create images, organize information, edit photos, produce videos, plan vacations, learn new skills, and even serve as personal assistants. But here's the interesting part. The AI world has changed so quickly that many of the tools we explored last year have already evolved dramatically, and dozens of exciting new tools have appeared. So today's presentation is not about theory. It is about discovery. Welcome to the AI Toolbox, my favorite new discoveries of the year. Today I will share some of the newest AI tools, websites, and features that I personally use and find genuinely useful. Some are simple, some are surprising. A few may completely change the way you use your computer or smartphone. Most importantly, everything you will see today is designed for real people. You do not need to be a programmer. You do not need technical skills. You simply need curiosity and a willingness to explore. So sit back, relax, and let's open the toolbox together. Good afternoon, everyone.
All right. Just to go back to last year, this was one thing that I did show, but I wanted to show again, and that is a program called Revive that's only available on Google Android phones and on iPhones. It is not available on Macs or PCs. But let's see what it does.
Your birthday, your birthday. Happy birthday. It is your birthday. It is your birthday. It is your birthday. Happy birthday. Your
Okay, there's lots of tools out there. This is a list of just some of them that I have used, some that are were used to put together this presentation, and some I haven't even tried yet. And this presentation, I've got a couple that were the tools were introduced on Monday. And I'm going to be talking about them and demonstrating a couple of those yet today. So it's if you've seen my presentation, I've got some new things to show you. Okay, just a couple things about me. I am the co-host for Let's Talk, or I'm sorry, I'm the host for Let's Talk AI on the fourth Friday of every month from STUG, or the Sarasota Group, Sarasota Technology User Group. And it's this Friday, the July 24th. If you're interested in joining us, by all means, contact me. My email address is there. I'll get you on the list, send you a link so you'll be able to join us. It's an hour discussion of AI. I also am co-host of the Tech for Senior program on Mondays, and I have a Windows Special Interest Group, which I've been hosting probably 30 years now. And it's every second Sunday of the month, and the next one will be August 9th. You're all invited. And if you want to find out what I've got posted and where and so on, all the things about me, go to the link tree, and it's linktr.ee and then /HewieP, and you'll get this menu. And as you click on either or any one of those, it'll take you to my Facebook page. It'll take me to my X page. It'll take me to Instagram and so on. So you can find me very easily without me having 100 different links to post. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Have you ever wondered about the recent updates in Windows 11 and how they can transform your experience with your computer? Well, in Sunday's Windows SIG discussion, a slew of exciting and essential topics will be covered. Sit back, relax, and allow the world of technology to unfold. First on our list is the fresh Windows 11 update. Microsoft has recently released an update with 29 changes that are sure to enhance your user experience. Among them, Moment 5 features stand out, offering a new...
Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with that video. I did want to show you that is my voice done by 11 Labs. I recorded it. It then produced it. So now I can take anything, put in text, and it will have my voice on it. It's pretty close to my voice. I think you can tell the difference, but it is my voice. Here are some ways I use AI, just putting together these graphics that you see on the screen. And I'm having a lot of fun. It was difficult in the beginning to get my beard correct, but we found some ways to do it. Okay, as I said, this is part 2 of the embracing the age with practical applications for seniors. If you want to watch part 1, you can go to YouTube, and it is there's the link for it. I'll give you a second to either take a picture of it or write it down. And of course, there'll be a video coming out very soon of this presentation. Okay, let's get started with some of the things that I use. Note GPT is a program that I use, an app that I use. I use the free part of it. I do not pay for it. And what I do with it is, let's see, I do it for video summarization, and also it really helps me put together the timestamps to put on my YouTube page to go along with the videos. So if I tell it, okay, I want the summary, you'll see the summary on the left, and then you'll see more information, extended summary on the right. And then if you'll see there's a chapter button on the left, and when I click it, it actually will break down and give me to be able to put up on the website on YouTube, the different timestamps so you can go to the right spot if you want to just look up one particular thing on that video. Here's an example. Now, this was a picture that came from the PCC in Haywood, California. And you'll notice that on the screen, you can barely see it, but it does have, there's a slide on the screen, and this gentleman is talking to the group. And what I did was, well, let's see what I did.
This is how data moves through the system. Input, process, output, and then you do a little dance. That is
So that was not his voice, and it was just a picture that I was able to make it, animate it, and make it look good. Now here's a picture of the board of directors of APCUG from 2013. I went back a little bit and grabbed the picture, and then this is what I did with it.
This is our dedicated team. Please stand up and show your appreciation.
Of course, that was a picture that was animated. Now, this picture is from the Sun City Center group in here in Florida, and the picture that you see at the top is from their newsletter, and it's got writing on it. And I was able to get the writing off and get this picture from that. But then I also did this. Whoops. Got to click the right spot.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sun City Center Computer Club.
Okay. You can also edit photos with AI. And it's really gotten good and easy to do. Now, I got this picture taken here in the minor league team here in Bradenton, Florida, is a minor league team under the Pirates, because this is where the Pirates do their spring training. And I was at one of the ball games, and this kid got his head right in the way when I took the picture. And so I wanted to get him out of the picture. So I used Gemini, and it took him right out, and just the picture's perfect. Almost. I don't know if you can see, but right behind number 23, there's a runner there. You know what? He doesn't have a third base. So when I did it in ChatGPT, it knew enough to put third base there. So sometimes it works well and sometimes it doesn't. And you really need to look over and see. Sometimes you have to do more than one tool to get this to happen. Here's, I did a prompt of, I want a white Chihuahua, and let's see what it did with it. Nice active Chihuahua. Okay, then I said, okay, let's do something else with the same picture and the same dog. So we've got them in all different poses and things going on right in using that same picture. Okay, let's look at what was called up until this week Notebook LM. Now it's called Google Notebook. And this is what it looks like. And you can see that at the bottom how you get to it. And let's go back here. So what I did is I put in some information about the refurb group of STUG, and then it created a summary. And then I said, okay, make me a video about the refurb group of STUG. And this is what I got.
Every year, an immense volume of perfectly viable technology is discarded. Look at this mountain of electronic waste. Working processors, memory boards, and hard drives left to rot in landfills. At the exact same time, a severe deficit exists right in our own neighborhoods. Thousands of low-income adults and disadvantaged students are attempting to navigate modern life without access to a basic computer. Without a device, participation in the modern economy is functionally impossible, blocking them from applying for jobs, attending remote classes, or accessing healthcare portals. we are left with a glaring systemic failure, a massive surplus of discarded hardware existing directly alongside crippling digital poverty. Meanwhile, another crisis is playing out silently in the background. As populations age, older adults face a rapid onset of social isolation and cognitive decline as the digitized world speeds past them. Passive aging carries a strict biological cost. When the brain lacks complex mental stimulation, the hippocampus, the region responsible for converting short-term memories into long-term storage, literally begins to shrink. Cellular research shows this physical toll clearly. Protective caps on our chromosomes, known as telomeres, begin to fray under the stress of physical and mental inactivity, accelerating cellular decay. These seem like two completely separate problems, yet those discarded electronics from the landfill offer the specific mechanical challenges required to slow this biological decay. Sustaining cognitive health depends on keeping older generations integrated into a constantly shifting technical world. The solution is currently operating out of a major retirement destination, Sarasota, Florida. Here you'll find the Sarasota Technology Users Group, or STUG. They've been helping adults navigate emerging technology since the days of the early IBM personal computer in 1982. Their method is rigorous. Instead of retreating from complex systems, members actively engage their neuroplasticity by taking demanding classes to learn intricate programs like Windows 11. The learning curve is steep, but they don't do it alone. The group provides an affordable, volunteer-led safety net where peers troubleshoot problems and share the struggle of mastering new interfaces. Consistently forcing the brain to adapt to unfamiliar logic helps maintain functional independence and mental acuity well into old age. STUG also operates a physical workshop to address the region's electronic waste directly through community device drives. This diagram maps out their strict logistical flow. First, they intake discarded laptops from the community. Then they deploy specialized software to completely wipe the hard drives of personal data before moving the devices to the workbench for hardware repairs. Once repaired, the flowchart expands. The revived devices are routed directly into the hands of foster youth, individuals in recovery programs, and low-income families through a network of local nonprofits. Through this supply chain, an environmental hazard is repurposed into a direct instrument of social equity. The structural elegance of this entire ecosystem lies in its workforce. The elderly students sweating through those software classes are the exact same technicians diagnosing and repairing the hardware. The macro impact of this single micro-community is staggering. To date, these volunteers have successfully refurbished and rehomed over 20,000 computers. Looking at the scale here, that equates to rescuing over 100 tons of electronic waste from local Sarasota landfills, a mass equal to several commercial jetliners. The intensive, frustrating labor required to salvage these machines is the exact mechanism that keeps the volunteers' mind sharp. This ecosystem redefines what a computer club can actually achieve. It serves as a vital engine for community resilience. Culturally, aging gracefully is often misunderstood as stepping back into a life of passive rest. These volunteers model a completely different path, rigorous, active integration. Instead of feeling obsolete as the world modernizes, these seniors have built themselves into essential, active community infrastructure. The victory is twofold. An aging population secures its own cognitive longevity, while simultaneously constructing the physical bridge that gives the next generation access to the digital world. The choice to stay engaged with technology creates a loop where one generation's intellectual health provides the hardware for the next generation's future.
Okay, and this was just done a short time ago that I had the article produce the video, and they said 20,000. We've given away over 26,000 computers now and continue to do so. And then I put together just a series of infographics from that same data from what is now called Google Notebook, which was Notebook LM. So just to give you an idea of some of the things that can be done to help you promote something that you're doing, whether it be a user group or anything else that you're involved in. PowerPoints. They're always fun, aren't they? Well, you know what? They are now. If you use something like gamma.app, you go and you can create something like what I'm going to show you here. You can do a generate, you can paste in text, you can create from a template, or you can import information, and you can say, okay, I want to generate a presentation. In this case, I said 3 cards, 3 slides, in other words. You have up to 10 for free, 20 for I think it's around $20 a month. And then I think it's $75 a month or something. You get like over 30 or more slides that you can make your presentation. So at this case, I said, what is the Sun City Center Computer Club in Florida? And it gave me an outline of what it was. In the three, I said I wanted 3 cards, so it gave me a title slide and 2 slides after that with some information. Then there's a button called Generate. You click the Generate, and you get 3 slides. You'll notice on the left is the outline. This is the first slide with a picture that really fits in what we're doing. And then when you go to the next one, you can see on the very right, this is blank, and then it says generate. You can generate the speaker's script or information for the speaker. Sometimes it has to be massaged to make it into a script, but when you do that, you've got your PowerPoint. And then you also have the ability to have the slides either being minimal, concise, detailed, or extensive. And then you can have various themes for it. And there's some other choices along the way that you can do. And you just hit generate. And like I say, for free, you can have up to 10 cards. And then it says, okay, what should we work on? So this is something else. So let's see what we're going to work on with this. Let's see. The website's complete. Oh, this is something new. I'm going to go back, and there's something new, brand new, to the point I didn't even recognize it when it came up here, because I just added this actually yesterday because I just found out about it the day before. Did you know that ChatGPT can do websites for you now? Wow. So it says, what should we work on? So I had to watch a video and read some documentations, and it said you do the @ sign and then sites, and you should be able to get your site. So I went ahead and they said it was brand new, so it's not just rolling out. You may not have it yet. So I did this. I said, create a website for a technology user group. All right. And I said, okay, do it. And so what it says, the complete website is ready. And it was about 5 minutes or so at the most. And it says, download the technology user group website. I said, that's not quite what I expected. And when I did, this is what I got. I got a zip file that had an index file, a README, JavaScript, and a style sheet. And that was it. And when I clicked the index.html, I got a website. But that's not what I expected. I thought they were going to host a website for me. So I went back and I watched the video again, and they made some changes from the video that I watched. What you actually had to do was in ChatGPT is click on more, and then you would get sites. So when I did that, then I got, this is what you're supposed to get when you do the @ sign. It's supposed to change to the sites, a little blue thing here. So I said the same thing, create a modern website for the technology user group, and I clicked go ahead and do it. Well, you know what? I don't know if you can see this or not, but it says work for four minutes, and it gave me 3 choices of the kinds of websites. And here's some pictures of the 3 that I had a choice of. I did choose the third one. But it took 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, to produce up to this point. So when I went ahead and I said, let's do number 3, it says, great choice. And it went and it did it. And then about 5 minutes later, It says your editable technology user group website is live. Open the technology user group website, and it actually gave me a link, and I went to it. And here's what it looked, a little bit of what it looked like. I'm going to show you a little bit more about it. And I'm even going to give you a link where you can go look at it. And this is the website that it made. This is the front page, and then it also had some meeting times. First of all, it said, who's got access? And I said, it's me. And I went ahead and saved it. And then you can be either anyone with the link or only you. So I made it anyone with the link. So you'll be able to go look at it with the link. And then this is what it looks like. This is the front page of it. And where it says upcoming meetings, when I clicked on it, let's see. This is the site here. It says you do not edit the site from the published website. The published site has no GPT dialog box, so it's not a what you see is what you get type of thing. You have to use the Chat GPT in order to make some changes. And I think I show you. I've got a couple of pictures of what I did there, but on the bottom is the website address where I produced this. And you'll notice at the top here on the left, one of the little sections on the website said general meeting 10 a.m. community hall plus Zoom, and I wanted to change that. So so I said to ChatGPT on the meetings page, change monthly general meetings from 10 a.m. Community room to monthly general meetings online Zoom. And when I did, that's what it looked like. So it changed it. So you're not going in and changing it like a Word document. You're doing it through ChatGPT. But that's only because this is still in beta. It's not even been released yet, but it was only released for some people to be able to get to it now. But I know a lot of the user groups that you're members of that no longer have a website because you have nobody that can build one or do one. Here's a free, simple way of doing it. And again, here's what the first page looks like, and it just slides down, and it's a whole bunch of pages, and then you can go back and edit. And I didn't put enough information there to make a really good website, but you can see it didn't do a bad job just for a little bit of material that I gave it. And again, the link to it is on the bottom. So I'm trying to give you enough time to write it down or take a screenshot of it. Okay, let's go to the next item. Here's an example of how I might use AI in my everyday work. I'm on Facebook. There is an image that's got a lot of websites. If I click it, it makes it bigger within Facebook. I want to take this, and I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to save the image as, and I'm going to save it as powerful apps your PC has always been missing. I'm going to tell it to save it, and it's going to overwrite because I've been practicing. Now let's go to Google Gemini. We could do it with any of the chat bots, but we're going to do it with this. We're going to say OCR this image. OCR means optical character recognition, which means turn the image into text. So we're going to say upload the file. We're going to click here, and we're going to upload that file. So then all we have to do is say, okay, do it. And we now have a text. All of the information. This right here is this is a copy. So I copied all of that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say take the list and add, let's say its link to each app. And we're going to click this. Let's see what we get. It divides each one up by sections, search engines, YouTube alternatives, and so on. Let's just test a couple of these. Let's see what this is. Okay, it took us to that page, and we'll come back here, and let's find another only Office, and it took us right there. So all of the links look like they may be working. We might test all of them first. We come back and there's our list. So we want to come down to the bottom. We want to click here, copy it to the clipboard. Then we're going to do this. So we're going to go to Word, open up Word, tell it we want to open a new document, and then we're going to paste. And we now have all of that information with them as links, and we're going to then save it, save as, and we'll give it a, here's a complete list, and we're going to say save it. Here's an example of how I might. Okay, and let's go to the next slide. Here's an example. There we go. Do you really know what you're agreeing to? This was an APCUG video on the website, and I got to try to remember what I did here. Let's see. Here we're at the APCUG YouTube channel, and what we want to do is now we want to get the link to it. We'll just copy it, and then we're going to go to a website from APCUG, and it's a summary website. So we just have to paste in the link to the video we just captured and tell it to summarize. In a matter of seconds, we'll have a summary to that video. It was about 10 seconds. And here it is in one paragraph. Okay, my go-to app has been something called Galaxy AI. And if you want to learn about it, you can go to the YouTube video that I'm showing the link to here. But what happened was about 2-3 weeks ago, I was getting ready to use this presentation. And when I went to the site, the logo was now the one that's down here in the bottom right. So what they said was introducing Magica. Galaxy is now Magica. A new name, same magic, now literally. So they changed their name on me, and they changed a lot of the things that they do. And I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with it, but I'm not as enamored about it as I was before, and I'm not using it nearly as much, and I do pay for it. I did pay for it a year in advance, but there was a special deal on it around the holidays, so I don't feel bad about it. But that's one of the reasons I don't always recommend that you, when you have the choice of a little bit higher per month, not to go to the yearly, which is going to be a lot higher, but the monthly fee is down. But what's going to happen is something else is going to come out better, or they're going to change it, and you may not want to continue to use it. So here are just some of the things, some of the tools that you can do with it, and some of the things that can happen. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things here. So you're seeing here, and here's some more tools. And it's now magica.app. And here are some of the apps that are built into it. I'm not sure if all of these are still there because they did take some away and they added some. And now what you get is just a box, and you put in what your prompt is going to be, and it figures out which one it's going to use. But you have a limited, and their credit system's horrible. You get 15 million credits a month, but it might use 5 million credits to do one video. So, but a lot of the things are usually less than 1 million. So you're getting quite a bit for this. And before you could get free points by going to it every day. And I had it up to about 150 credits. I'm now down to, this is 145. I'm down to about 45 now. So I'm not real happy with it. But here are some of the things you can that I did with it. One is I went to a restaurant in Orlando many years ago, and I explained what I had as an appetizer, and they came back and they were able to tell me exactly what I had and what it was. And so I bought an artichoke and tried to make it myself. It certainly wasn't as good as I remembered it, but it's probably because I'm not a good chef. But I was able to find out what that was. And now when I go to a restaurant, I'm going to see if they might do it. But what I
This is
did,
perplexity, and I wanted to find a restaurant that serves something that I had many years ago and I didn't know what it was. And so I wrote that I went to a restaurant in Orlando. They served an appetizer that I liked. I described it. They actually then, when I clicked it, they actually gave me some pictures and said steamed artichokes. Based on your description, you're almost certainly eating steamed artichokes served with a dipping sauce, likely melted butter, which it was, or garlic butter, or a butter-based sauce, and so on. And then it gave me more information about it, some more pictures, and then I followed up by saying, are there any Bradenton, Florida restaurants that serve it? And it said basically there's nobody who advertises it, but here's some possibilities of places that might have it.
okay, here's some tools in action. I just did some screenshots and I want to show you a little bit about it. I'm going to go through this quite quickly because, as I say, I'm not as enamored with it as I was. But Galaxy AI is different. It's what they call an aggregator. It takes a lot of the ones that you pay for subscriptions and it puts them all in one place, so you're only paying one price to use several of the AI tools that are out there. And so you got all tools and you got some credits and you got subscription when it's due. And then you're told how many credits it's going to cost you. And so I did one and I was going to do a video on it. It was too many, so I just made a picture of it, and it was 0.12 million credits. Free credits, this is no longer available. But one of the things it will do is resize and extend and expand your creative canvas. Have you ever I had a picture and it was the wrong size, and you wanted to make it long and narrow, but it was a screenshot from your phone, and it just wasn't wide enough. Well, you can expand using intelligent image extension. You can change the aspect ratio, and it makes the picture. It adds to it, so it doesn't make it out of kilter, but it also adds things to it, so it's not just blank space to the sides. Image to prompt generator, reverse engineering, and I'm going to show you another place where I use that. But that's something that you can do where you can actually take a picture, a photo, and say, give me a prompt that will produce almost the same picture. So let's see what that does. So here it is. And when I took, this is the picture up on the top left. When I said reverse engineer it, here's what I got. Now, I don't think I would be able to do that off the top of my head. So it was nice that AI did it for me. And when I said, okay, now create a picture, and I use that as the prompt, this is what I got down here in the bottom. Almost the same. So it does a pretty good job of reverse engineering. And text to image with Imagen 4, next generation. So this is what we've got here. It's very realistic, but let's see what we've got here. AI talking photo with Hedra. And when I use it, let's take a look first at this.
Welcome to Tech for Seniors. We are showing you various ways to use AI with me as the model. I hope that you are learning some of the ways to use AI.
Very nice. Well, you know what? She looks more like she would be maybe from a different country and then have an accent to her. So let's see what we got over here.
Welcome to Tech for Seniors. We are showing you various ways to use AI with me as the model. I hope that you are learning some of the ways to use AI.
Welcome to Tech for Seniors.
Okay, so your creative workflow in one platform. That's what was Galaxy AI and now is magica.app. But as I say, I'm not as enamored that I was with it. Okay, here's another example of a way you would use AI. You've got a Medicare document in the mail and you're not quite sure how to read and understand it. Just ask AI and it'll give you back an answer. Now, here is the document and the prompt to use. Here's the document. You know, you get these uh, envelopes that got lots of pages in them. Most of it is what your rights are, and then in four different languages. At least that's the way mine come. And then there's one sheet that will have some summaries and a box that tells me all this information. And you know what? You look at it and think, huh? Well, so here's the prompt. I received this Medicare summary notice in the mail. Please explain to me this in simple terms. Do I owe an amount provider charged? Why did the Medicare pay $0 for the second item? And exactly how much money do I actually have to pay out of pocket? Well, here's the response. I'll first show you the entire response because it's real long, and then I'm going to show it to you in parts so you can actually read it. So this is what it actually came back as. So let's take a look. Here's a simple explanation. For the most part, most important thing is no, you don't need to owe the amount provider charged. And so it explains what these different costs are and what you may owe. And what about that zero, though, that Medicare paid? Well, you know what? As you read down there, it basically is telling you that why did Medicare pay zero? Because it had not yet met your annual Part B deductible. Your notice says annual deductible 240, and it only met $40 of it so far. So, and then they approved the $40 for the ECG and so on. And then it goes on to explain more. So here's an example of how you can use AI in your everyday questions of things that just go unanswered, or that you've got to ask your doctor or ask somebody that may or may not know the right answer. So in plain English, the doctor's office asked for $470. The Medicare said these services are worth $220 under our fee schedule. Medicare paid $144, and then you got to pay $76. The remainder, $250, is written off. Okay, this another example of re-engineering. This was an image that I did about one of my recent videos about power banks. And I said, okay, give me a prompt. So here's the prompt that it gave me from that. And then when I said, okay, do it, this is what it did. And to see them both together, there you go. So the one up on the top left is the one that AI did. The one at the bottom is what it re-engineered. So pretty close to the same thing. Okay, I also like to have some fun with AI. So here are a few items that I created recently. My favorite drink is an appletini. And so I found a place that gave me a prompt and I put it together, and you just put in what object you want. Here's create an image, an infographic image of whatever item it is. I put appletini in there. And then it's all I had to fill in there because I found this somewhere. And so you want to do a screenshot with your phone right now, go ahead and do that. So you can try it out with whatever you want to make an infographic with. But you can see on the right what it actually did for me. Really did a nice job. And I almost want to make a nice poster out of it and frame it, put it on my wall. But then I can't drink it. Okay. Doing all of this and putting this show together, I fell asleep at the keyboard. I'll be honest with you. But I had a really nice dream while I did that. So Sofia Vergara showed up in my dream, and this is what I got. Oh, that looks so nice. I'm going to do that again. Oh, if that was only true and not a dream. All right. Whoops. And the next one is here. Okay, some of you may have occasionally where you have an adult beverage, and one of them is a whiskey sour. So I said, make me a video of a bartender making a whiskey sour. You'll see that not a very good bartender, and you'll see why here. Puts the whiskey in, puts the mix, and then he shakes it up. Wait a minute, that wasn't the same stuff. Let's do that again. Whoops.
It must be.
Okay, let's.
It must.
Come on. Put the whiskey in, put the mix in, and then shake it. So, not very good job of that AI there. And
It must be 5 o'clock somewhere.
and I'm open to questions on that note.
I'm just totally amazed.
Let me stop the share here. There we go. Anyway, I had fun putting that together, as you can tell.
Yeah. The one that blew me away the most was the group where you took the lettering away and then made them all wave and talk to you. That just freaks me out in a sense.
Too cool for words, Hewie. Absolutely too cool for words. Thank you so much. Richard Durand has a comment or a question.
Give me a chance to get back up on the top of the list.
And Richard, you can ask your question by raising your hand and then unmuting yourself.
Yeah, I clicked the
and you made it go away.
Yeah. So raise your hand again, Richard, so I can find you, and then I can click the right button. Richard, where'd you go?
Okay, we're going to start with Sylvia while Richard.
Okay, this time
I'll
do the right button.
Sylvia, what's your question?
I hope I can be heard well. So I was wondering, you gave many examples of AI summarizing things. So we all get those terms and conditions from all over the place, from our bank, from whatever, and they are long. House insurance now is like 40 some pages to read annually. So my question is, would AI summarize those in a way that represents the legal aspects of it correctly?
Yeah, and one of the best things for that is the Notebook LM, or now the Google Gemini notebook. You just put it in there and it will summarize it. You can ask it questions. It'll even make a video or infographic about it. It will put it together, and then you can ask various questions about it as well. Absolutely. And then there's some others that you can just put it in and say, summarize it, or give me the highlighted points, or give me anything that I might not like, or might be contradictory within the same document. Because you got to remember, not one lawyer put that together, with a whole bunch of lawyers over different time periods and different places. So there could be contradictory stuff in there as well. Absolutely. That's what AI is really good for.
The reason I ask is because I know I went to another AI workshop, I think was with this APCUG group, and it said that sometimes AI, if it doesn't know the answer, it'll lie, like it'll make up stuff.
Oh, yeah. And that's called hallucinating.
Yes, I don't know if I would totally trust their summary of these, like say bank or house insurance, summary of it.
Yeah, one of the things you want to do when you're asking for it to summarize or anything is to have them have it document where it got its information from. And most of them now will do that. And then you just have to check there to make sure that's what it said.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of doing a part 3 of my AI, and what I'm going to talk about is some of the issues and problems and what governments and companies are trying to do to control it. But I'm not trying to make it negative like the newspapers try to do, and try to explain what some of the things you can do and some of the things it does. So, yeah, that's coming, and I will have something together, and we'll probably do that on another Wednesday show. Uh,
Richard,
Lloyd,
Richard's back, so let's let him
okay,
make his comment or question.
okay.
Yeah, I promised I'd hit the right button this time.
Yeah, unmute yourself, please, Richard.
Well, I think you said that you had created 26,000 computers for other users. And
Yes,
over what period of time was that done?
it's several years.
Several years. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but I think it was around the first of the year we hit the 20,000 and we're over 26,000 now. So we've done over 6,000 computers this year.
That's great.
Yes, and we got a really good crew that the volunteers, all volunteers from the club that get together. We've got we run a space, and they work. I think it's 3 days a week to do this, and then we do go to a lot of the nonprofit funding sources and ask for money and get money from them. And I think we've got one of the school districts is donating their old computers to us. So we have to not only get the source to get the computers, and then somebody to work on them, and then somebody to give them to. So and then money to pay for it. So it's a very involved process. We've been doing it a long time. We've got a great group that works on it.
Lloyd,
Thank you
Lynn,
so much,
you're on.
and congrats to you and your team.
Yep, I'm not involved in that. I'm too far away from it. That's in Sarasota, and I'm in Bradenton, which is the next city above it. So I don't get to do a lot of that kind of stuff, but we've got some great people who do it, and longtime members that do it, and are otherwise people don't see them or talk to them. So,
Right.
Excellent.
Lloyd,
uh,
you're on.
Okay, I'm here. The question
hi
I had-
Lloyd, been a long time.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, various things prevent me from coming to all of the sessions. The first question is, well, all of them are going to relate to the creation of the website with your ChatGPT. So when you created a website and you want to save it, does it save it in just ChatGPT program format that only chat can look at it and read it and so on? Or is it a specific file, HTML or whatever it is?
Go ahead.
Well, that's what I want to ask. First of all,
Okay,
that's the first
okay.
part of the question.
Okay, it's both. If you remember when I first showed it, it gave me a zip file that had HTML and the CSS file and so on. That
Okay.
you can put anywhere you want. The
No,
second
okay.
one, is ChatGPT actually hosts it and doesn't charge for it. But in order to edit it, you've got to use ChatGPT and tell it what you want changed. So you're not going to do a lot of changing and so on. So it's a little bit, but don't forget, this has only been available for 3 days.
No, I understand that, but would ChatGPT be able to upload this file to a standard server like whoever you use to host your website?
That would be the first one that it created, the HTML file. That's just a straight HTML and CSS file.
So that can be
you can open that with your browser and from your desktop. So yes, that can be anywhere.
So that could be saved or uploaded to your whoever your web provider is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's HTML editors out there that you could go ahead and make changes to pages and so on, and then insert them. And we're going to have to see where this goes. It's still in beta. It's still brand new. Who knows how developed this is going to be, and then who else will do something even more extensive. And there are other AI programs out there that do websites, but I was never able to. It didn't make sense to me until this came out on Monday, and I said I got to try that and I got to show that because there's so many groups that don't have websites that really need it.
Okay, I'm just thinking actually, even for commercial purposes, um, you could, all I'm saying is that it can, like you say, I just want to confirm this, it can be made, you've got the HTML format, so you could upload the HTML format up to the server, wherever you're, whoever you're using, and that would be that, as far as I can see.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
And then you can edit the HTML and make changes in it.
Okay, one last question. Would ChatGPT charge extra for the development of websites because it's a special type of, let's say, program that you're making or whatever?
Well, they haven't said so, and it's still beta, but you do have to. I'm going to guess to do a lot of it, you're going to have one of the paid plans, but I don't think they're charging extra for it. And I hope you got the address of it and go take a look at what's up there, or what I actually created, or what it actually created.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Steve Schenk, you're next.
Hi there. I have a question. If I wanted to, which I do want to do, if I could, how would I get the recording of this? Where would I find it on the, I guess, the APCUG website? And what would be your recommendation for feeding it into AI to get sort of a grid of the different programs you offered and what they're good for? In other words, I was trying to take notes and listen at the same time, and just kind of fell apart.
Judy, you want to answer that?
I sure do. Hey, Steve, I think this is one of your only Wednesday workshops you've attended, but
Number one.
Right, I know it. I've been to your group many, many times and see what you've missed by not attending Wednesday workshops. Anyway, you receive the follow-up material. You will get a copy of both presentations, a link to both videos, blah, 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 blah. It's called the follow-up material.
And there's ways
not to worry, and it'll be on the YouTube channel, but don't hold your breath because I'm way behind.
But when it does show up on the YouTube channel, one of the things you can do is you can have there's a lot of things out there that will go out and summarize, and will also give you the play-by-play sort of the script, and you can then do whatever you want with it.
And Steve, you could have your president or Karen put in a speakers bureau request and have Hewie give that presentation to your group.
Really?
Of course.
Good to know.
Stick with me, kid. What can I tell you?
Thank you very much.
Murray,
one other question I have.
Okay.
On your refurbishing program, do you find that schools don't want Windows computers anymore? They want
Chromebooks.
Chromebooks?
Actually, in this area, they're not using Chromebooks to any extent, but what they're doing is they're able to give students that don't have any computer a computer.
Yeah.
And their parents, if they need it, or somebody that's going out to look for a job that doesn't have a computer and they have to have some experience in it. They also have to probably do their applying on a computer, and here they'll have their own to do it.
And Steve, California is one of the states that every kid has a Chromebook, okay? And there's other states like that too, but it's cheaper to buy Chromebooks than whatever.
But when they can get one free, if they have the chance to have a Windows computer and at least learn how to use it, if they know how to use a Windows computer, they're going to know how to use a Chromebook.
My elementary school, 4 doors at the top of the hill, they still have a Mac lab. Because way 1,000 years ago, Apple gave elementary schools Mac computers in hopes the kids would go home and tell their parents that's what they were using in school and they needed to buy one for the home. So mine still has one, plus they have a Windows lab. Murray, you're on for sure.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make a couple of comments. First of all, of course, a lot of the programs that you showed, Huey, are paid tier, but one of the things like Google always does changes everything around. Not only did they change the Notebook LM to a new name, but there used to be a lot of the videos that you've seen, especially on Tech for Senior, were created with the video overview. Now, a couple of things about that. One of those most beautiful videos you produced was about the one of the computer clubs. And when I tried to do it, I couldn't because you need the most expensive tier in order to do that. And now when I try to do it, it won't do it at all because they moved all that feature over to Google Vid. So trying to keep up with where things get moved and how things get changed is a real challenge. And I appreciate all the work you do trying to keep us informed of what all the new stuff is. But sometimes it's hard to figure out, okay, could I do that or not if I'm not paying for that expensive tier?
Yeah, and I'm not paying for the expensive tier for Google. I'm paying just uh, I think the one up. And
For Google?
yeah, the expensive one's around $200, and I'm not paying that a month.
Okay, well, the one about the that showed the um that had the really good video of looked like you were in a real classroom and talking to a real classroom about the refurbishing program. I know when I tried to do that same kind of thing the day after I first saw that one, it wouldn't let me because and it said that I needed the tier that Ron Brown has anyway for Google.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and it costs them to produce these things, so you can understand. So, uh, and if it's a user group for something, they might want to go ahead and get an account and then let people use it. Okay. Next.
Ellie, please unmute.
Here you go. There were two buttons. Can you hear me now? There were two
Yes.
buttons.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. There was another button to unmute. Okay. Thank you about the Apple mention because I remember that schools were trying to get in. Okay, so two of the questions for Lloyd and for Steve. One is often, even in some of the free versions of some of the AI platforms, you can save the chat as a PDF, and it will also save the links that were mentioned in the PDF. And also for taking notes, Zoom itself has a feature to take notes. I'm not sure. That's in the um, professional version. I'm not sure in the free version, but there are options. Okay, and the two things for Huey about Medicare, you can actually have those. I know from my father, you can have those notices, the MSN Medicare something notices sent sent you can download them electronically. You can ask to have no paper, although there is apparently one paper that you get, even if you have billing automated with auto pay, that you'll get a notice and it says this is not a bill, but notice of your bill being due at a certain date and certain amount from Medicare. So it's not totally paper free. The other thing, I just want to say if you could mention that to your, did you have a comment back, Huey?
No. No.
Oh, okay. The other thing was it's an overall problem with AI and especially with generated images and particularly deep fakes of people's likenesses, voices, and such. There's no guarantee at this point, and there needs to be some kind of regulation where there are so-called watermarks, for lack of a better word, that will guarantee from a government or an institution that this is in fact real. There was just an incident recently. Well, of a question from Fox News being asked of President Trump regarding whether images from Minab school that was bombed and school children. I just learned there were boys too, aside from the girls, and some adults, teachers and such, that were killed in early February, I believe it was. And he says, how do you know those are an AI fake? So if there was a way to have things verified, say an IRS will put a watermark or some note to know that it's a real document from them, that would be helpful.
Yeah, when I do part three, I have a file, or I guess it's a file or program that when I see a picture, let's say on Facebook, I can click right click my mouse button, and one of the things that comes up is to check to see if it's AI or not, and it'll tell me
Oh,
whether that picture was AI. So there are tools like that out there. You can't
great.
get them. What I'm trying to do is show you what you can do.
Okay,
Not what you can't or what you shouldn't do or what you got to be careful of. That's going to be part three.
great, wonderful. Thank you.
Jack, I think you're next.
Yeah, hi. Thanks. First of all, thanks very much for a great presentation. Very much appreciate. I have a few short questions. First off, with regard to the Volunteer Computer Club, where they're updating discarded computers, where is the new parts coming from to upgrade? The people are not going to throw out good machines. They're outdated, they got old memory and so forth. So where are the new upgraded parts coming from to put in those machines? And
That
then,
that's where we request money from various nonprofit funding organizations, and we get funds, and then we also solicit people to donate money as well as computers, and that money is used to buy parts. And yeah, in some months it can get quite expensive. Other months we've got enough extra parts from things that didn't work, but there were enough usable parts in it. So they're taking parts out of some and putting them in others. And when we get a whole bunch, let's say from a school system or from a school, they're all going to be the same model. So we get 50 computers. Well, maybe 35 of them we got parts for.
okay, thank you for that.
Okay. For any more questions about the Stug refurbishment program, please go to their website. They have an extensive article. All these questions will be answered. It is thestug.org.
Okay, I have something related to the AI functions of, you had several different, a graphic with there were 50 on that graphic of different AI applications. And you did talk about editing photos. When I travel, I take hundreds of photos, and some of them are duplicates, and some of them are when I shoot, it's a raw image and it's a JPEG, and I want to delete all the JPEGs, and sometimes I want to keep the JPEGs and delete the raw, and then I want to edit a whole bunch down to a much smaller number based on criteria that I would like to set up. Are there, rather than editing one photo or video at a time, is there an application that will help me edit a whole slew, a whole collection, hundreds, based on the criteria that I select? Is there
Well,
an editing
that's
app?
where you may hear the term agent. And that's what AI agents are. They're like the old batch files back in the DOS days, where you could have two or three programs that would do different things, and then you just run the batch file, and they would go and do it. Well, that's basically what an agent, AI agent, does. And you're going to be using different tools, and all those things are starting to take place. I don't get involved in agents because, for the most part, I don't have a use for it. And I got enough to learn the stuff that I do. So I just, there's not enough hours in the day and days in the week and years,
Yeah.
weeks in the year. So, but yeah, that's what people are trying to do, and what they're doing is finding things that were very time intensive, and finding ways for AI to cut that back so it isn't.
Yeah, but
So
so you don't have any specific AI application to help with that task. Is that correct?
no, you're going to have to play and figure out. I don't have that issue, so I have not done anything with it. But somebody may have done it, somebody may not have, but you have to learn some of the tools and see what can do it and what can't.
And Jack,
Okay.
all you need to do is ask your AI favorite AI person the question and they will find out. I have something for Huey here. Do you have any recommendations for a tool that could create a user interface for retrieving data across multiple databases?
I
Again,
don't,
for me, that would
but
be if you ask your chatbot a question.
yeah, just ask your chatbot if there's such a thing. I do it all the time. Is there something that will do this?
Yeah.
I ran into a problem this week, and I said, "Do you know what tool I made this with?" Because I couldn't remember, and I have that problem a lot. And one of them I asked, happened to be Chat GPT, and it says, "You use me a lot," and here's I gave him two choices I thought might be where it came from, and it said, "Yeah, judging by what you normally do, because it knows now what I do." It says it's probably this is what created it. I don't know for sure, but just the way you work, this is what I figured out that it's going to be, and it was.
Donna,
So
you're on.
Good morning, Huey, and thank you for a wonderful presentation. I know now that on YouTube they have their own AI to summarize, and you showed a different one today. Is one preferred over the other, or was it just that you were showing another option to summarize a YouTube?
another option, and probably, and if you want, sometimes you try two or three of them and see what the summaries are. They can be different because
Mhm.
we all look at things differently, and maybe one will suit what you're looking for more than another, and one you may look at and say, that's not what I'm seeing there, so I'm not going to use that. So, and sometimes then you can take the three of them. Let's say you looked at three different ways of getting the summary. You put them all in Notebook LM, or now Google Notebook. You put it in that and say, okay, take all of these, jumble them up, and then give me a good summary.
Oh,
All right, sounds like fun. Thanks, Huey.
Donna, I will take one and then I like it, but I take it and I use that stuff and I'll ask the next chat bot, and to massage it or whatever until I find one that is actually I like. But where does Kaji fit into your summarized scheme of things these days?
You talking to me?
Yui? Yeah, Kaji.
I I use it every once in a while.
Okay.
One of the things it wants though is a YouTube video, and a lot of times I want to get the description before I upload it to YouTube, because YouTube says, well, if you have your a description when you upload the video, you're more likely to get views. So I've been trying to do that, and that's been a
Yeah.
challenge, but I'm getting it done.
I'm running into that too. Murray, you're on. And Gil is our last question.
Okay, well, I have two comments. First of all, on the recycling of computers, I'm not sure what your group does, but I bet there was a comment about what about old equipment. And of course, the fact is that 10 or 15-year-old computers are perfectly good for running Linux. I've got an obsolete Macintosh 27-inch Retina that is obsolete, couldn't get updates. Instead of recycling it or trading it in, I installed the Linux on it, and now it's the nicest computer I've got. It's a beautiful display,
And if
and
you
it,
want
it
to
works
learn,
well.
if you want
Right.
to learn more about Linux, John Kennedy and his Linux meetings here on APCUG is what you want to be a part of.
That's
Right.
right.
And
But
Murray,
I'm just commenting on about the old.
Murray, school districts aren't going to be using Linux, okay? They're using Chromebooks.
No. The old computers that they donate, if
Right.
they are too old
to run Windows or anything like that.
Right, but
They
some of
can
these
run
go back
Linux
to
just
schools
fine.
too.
That was the point I meant.
Got it.
Okay. Yep. The other thing was what was a Chat GPT? Oh yeah. Oh, I guess I've forgotten, and I'll have to save it for next week. Okay.
Gil,
Unmute.
unmute, please. Lower
Um,
left-hand corner. There you go.
I got it. I had the same comment as the previous gentleman, that there are places that need Linux computers that are too old, and we refurbish here in Dallas. I've lost many of my volunteers, so if anybody on this call is in Dallas and wants to do a little refurbishing, we need help. So send. You can find me on social media.
And what group are you with?
North Texas PC User Group.
Check out ntpcug.org is their website, so check them out.
Okay.
And Andy, really, you're the last one. Don't anybody else raise your hand. Thank you.
Thanks. Just slid in under the weather. Couple of quickies. Number one, Hewie, thank you. Great presentation. 3 quick points. You showed the Medicare summary analysis. Do you have any concerns or about using something like that? And with all the identity theft and privacy issues that are going on. Point number 2, question came up about the analyzing the terms of service. There is on Linux. Funny you mentioned Linux. There's an app that I've used for years, TLDR. Fill in the blanks. Too long, didn't read. On Brave browser, there's an interesting extension called TLDR, but it's for terms of service. Terms of service didn't read. And it gives kind of a rating when you go to each website. Yes, Judy, I will send you the link. And finally, there was an article within the past week or so with dealing with cars. Automakers, yeah, we have EVs for electronic or electric vehicles. Now there's a new thing out for SDV, software-defined vehicle. Basically, they're going from, you went into a dealership, you bought a car, you drove out, that's it, you don't know the dealer or anything else. Everything's going over to or as many things as possible are going over to a subscription model. So basically, the car maker wants to be in bed with you, cradle to grave, because people aren't buying as many cars. So the question for you, Hewie, is do you see a lot of these freebie services going the same way, where the only way they're going to survive is on a subscription model, where today they're selling the sizzle, not the steak?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, most of them are, and it's one of the things that the first thing I look at when I go to look at a tool that I'm not familiar with. I want to look at the pricing because they can be anywhere from $10 a month to $50 a month as their lowest tier. Some of them have free, but you only get, you might get 8 or 10 of what you can do instead of 50 that you get with a paid one. But and some of them they'll give you a 7-day trial or something, but you don't get anything free. And then other ones are mostly free, but some of the really good benefits to it you got to pay for. So it's they all have different plans. They all have ways of making money one way or another, or they're not going to make it. So there's been a few that I've used that I really liked that had to close up because they ran out of money. And as far as one final comment to what you said too is about the medical. Yeah, be very careful what you do use AI for. You certainly don't want to put any information in there. I only use that because it came up in something that I was doing about that, and I said, well, this would be a good example of something that seniors might be able to use AI, because a lot of you aren't using it because well, what am I going to use it for? Well, I try to find something that might click that little button inside that says, oh, I might be able to use that. And with that note, Judy? And John, thanks everybody for joining me. And anything you need from me before we say goodbye?
We're not
Just
saying goodbye.
yeah, just to
I
say
know.
Your
thank.
Well, before
presentation.
I say goodbye, I know
Yeah,
Mark is coming up, and Mark, I've known Mark for years, and he's a great speaker. So you're in for a
Yeah.
treat.
yeah.
I
I'll
have
let,
two things. Remember back in the day, we could read those short EULAs, end user license agreements, because they weren't even a page long and it was so easy to read. And the Medicare things that go on and on and on are usually not specific to any medical problems you have. It's a change in your benefits or a change in this, but it's not specific to you. And if it is specific to you, there is no way you are going to ask AI for help in doing anything about it. But again, most of them are just going on and on and on about a change of some kind. AARP is the same thing. They send out stuff, and a lot of it is just a change in your benefits, not that you're 1,000 years old and you're enrolled in these different AARP programs.
And when you buy a new car, you'll get a book that's 1,000 pages. Well, almost all of them, and I probably would have to really look to see one that doesn't. You can get a PDF of that entire thing, and you throw that into AI. And when you need how to do something, you ask AI, and it'll find it very
oh,
quickly.
good
And
idea.
this is the reason my AP history daughter would not allow AI in her classroom, because she wanted her kids or students to learn how to think critically and not have AI do it for them. But I figure we already do that. We've been doing that for years, so it's okay to have AI help us now. Hey, thanks, Hewie. And John, you're on, kiddo.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Hewie. Going to really look forward to part 3 in the next few months or so. So as soon as you've got that ready, let us know, and we will schedule you for that.